I think they have to get a quarterback at some point. Maybe it's second round, maybe it's third round. I also think they might need a running back, and there might be some really good value. I've done a few of these live mock drafts on Twitter the last few weeks, and Ingram is almost there every time. Where that you want to be able to pass up Mark Ingram if somehow he fell out of the first round. I think he's as special as it gets as a running back. So I wouldn't take a running back in the second unless Ingram was there because it's 25 deep this year. Last year there was only 12 running backs taken. You can find a guy in the sixth round like Alex Green of Hawaii. I think can be a starting or at least a back that use a two-back system with Bernard Scott. I think that would be fun. I mean, if you found a guy that late, or you go offensive lineman. I think left guard as a whole. Marvin said the other day he's still not happy with the right tackle play, but I'm sure they're going to give Andre Smith every opportunity to win it. They better, But I think quarterback, Ponder may be there, maybe not. I don't think so. I think a team is going to trade up because they'll want him out of the next group of maybe Mallett's there. I don't like Mallett for the fit. The questions, like, again, I can't comment on them. I don't know, but the questions make me pause and make me say I want Andy Dalton instead because I think Dalton would be a good West Coast quarterback. He's got a lot of traits you look for in that kind of position for a West Coast quarterback. Would it be a reach there? A lot of guys have him ranked in the third round. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on where they rate him.
So you going quarterback pretty much?
Sure, if one's there.
Okay. Yeah. So you go quarterback, and then third round, is that where you get your offensive lineman? Where do you think you go into that pick?
Sure, I think like a guy, Will Rackley from Lehigh. He's a small school guy, but Will Rackley is the left tackle for Lehigh. He'd be a left guard. I think he can pull really good. They always like to pull their left guards when they had Steinbach and Evan Mathis. Livings is a little slower at that, but I think they can get an athletic guy at left guard, maybe a John Moffett from Wisconsin. Maybe you can find even a guy behind Bobby Williams that maybe sit a year until he'll take over that spot. Or a safety if they can. They need a safety help, but Marvin just had an interview the other day and reading on Bengals.com saying he doesn't really think there's a good crop of safeties this year. It could be a smokescreen, who knows? This time you can't listen to anything.
True. Okay, I mean, to me, once you get into the fourth round, you never know who's going to be there. There's going to be some guys dropped that far. There's going to be guys taken higher in the draft that you thought they would be fourth rounders. So I don't even want to project out that far. I like to go to the top 3 rounds. But so
they've gone with value over the last few years, though. A guy they didn't expect to be there.
Yeah, yes, and definitely. So that's why I'm saying it's so hard to predict. You might take a guy rated in the fourth round right now, but it might be a second round guy there. A guy that falls back. So just looking at the Bengals roster right now, you mentioned a couple spots like left guard, right tackle. I believe Andre Smith would be there. Mike Brown's not going to give up on him being a 6th pick. Marvin may want to, but Mike's not. Where do you see the biggest battles? I mean, I wrote something tonight about Michael Johnson and Antoine Odom. I think that's a key battle. I don't think you can get rid of Antoine Odom if he's healthy. Something like that. So where do you see the key battles coming on this roster?
Defensive tackle is really deep. I think even though they don't have a star or a stud guy, you got Pecco, you got Atkins, Sims, and Tank's still under contract. That's 4 deep, and I've seen people still want them to take a guy. If they take a guy in the top 5 rounds, Tank could be cut, and
I think he's going. I mean, that's a position right there. I don't see why. He hasn't given them much since he got there. He was always injured, and you have young guys behind him that can play as good as him or better. I think Pico is a better. Pat Sims is a better run player, and I think Geno gives you more in the pass game. So, like you said, Tank could be a guy that he could just be here right now until the CBA is reached.
Right, yeah, and a lot of people say they need a defensive tackle. I've seen mock drafts everywhere have them taking a D tackle in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. If you're not taking Darius or Fairley, you might not even take one because they're not going to get on the field until the season's done with 12 games, and you're not going to see them. It's not even worth it. But those 3 guys, Sims, Atkins, and Pico, are going to battle it out, I think. And then, like, the 3rd corner, if Joseph's gone and it's Pac-Man and Hall on the outside, then you got Morgan Trent and Brandon G. Those guys, maybe Rico Murray can get in there. Who knows? Maybe they'll draft another guy. But that nickel guy or that when Leon Hall goes inside and the nickel guy goes outside, that'll be a position battle. Safety, even though I think Crocker and Nelson are probably the 2 guys that'll return and probably start because a rookie won't start over either one of those. And And then Caldwell and Simpson, if they go A.J. Green, those two are going to battle it out, and it'll be fun to see who wins out of that. It'll make them both a better player.
Yeah, that's true. So speaking of the safeties, would you mind if they win another year with Chris Crocker and Roy Williams at the safety spot?
Yeah, if they went with Roy, I'd be upset, I think. And I like Roy. He's a good guy, but he doesn't offer much anymore, I don't think. He's always hurt. You got to worry about that. You got to have a guy behind him. He's not the same guy he was. Sure, he's a hitter, but he's never been really good in coverage for the last 6-7 years. I'd rather have Crocker and Nelson. Nelson made plays, even though he kind of bit on play actions and pumps and stuff like that, but he made more plays than he let up, I feel like. I could go with Crocker. He's a smart guy back there. He gets everyone set up. Have Nelson at free safety, and I think you'd be okay at least.
Okay, yeah, true. That's true. I mean, I think Roy brings a physical presence to the secondary. He just gets hurt a lot. I mean, he has that forearm that you got to worry about. Chris Crocker is the same guy. He's a physical guy. He can do a lot of things, but he's been getting hurt a lot too. So they definitely have to. And then Chinadu was their backup plan for the last 3 or 4 years.
They make it seem like he's got a bad injury though.
Who's that?
Ndukwe?
Yeah, he did. He messed his knee up pretty bad. I wouldn't expect him to be back.
Right, that's
start
what I
the
was thinking.
season anyway. So that would be tough. Now let me. I know you covered the draft. So let me get your top 10 right now before we close up. Let me get your top 10 how you think they'll fall.
Okay. First, I think it'll go Newton to the Panthers. Number 2, I'll go Darius. I think Patrick Peterson's an option though for them. I think it could be we've seen a lot of Darius, but in the end, you got to take the best guy, and they have a need at corner. It could be Peterson. I'll go Darius for this mock, and I'll go Gabbert for Buffalo, and then Cincinnati. Let's go with A.J. Green. 5 is the Cardinals. Yep. Let's go Patrick Peterson. Why not? You can't keep passing him up. And even though I think they'll look at Von Miller right there because they could really use the pass rush. They play a hybrid 3-4, 4-3. So then we're going with the Browns. Browns really need D-line help, I think. They would look at Julio here. Maybe they look at Von Miller. They really need outside linebacker help also. But I'm going to go with Robert Quinn from North Carolina. I think if he would have played this year, he would have been a top 5 pick easily. So after that, we'll go with the Niners. They'll jump on Von Miller instantly, I think. They could really use the pass rush. They play a 3-4. They'll be able to use the strengths. Titans, everyone's been mocking fairly here, but you probably better know if they would go for that again after Hainsworth. You think they would?
I don't think they're the same guy. I mean, I think if they could get an Albert again, they would. But Albert was 6'5", 330,
right. Yep.
And he was the 15th pick. So, excuse me. I think the Titans are going quarterback. I mean, I think unless a couple of – I know that they favor a couple of defensive linemen, but I think they are one of these teams that they need a quarterback. They need a new face to their franchise. So, I think
the
Titans –
even if the top 2 are gone, they'll go quarterback?
Yes. I do. I
really?
think they will. And, I mean, it's possible to trade back a little bit, but I wouldn't be – if they took a quarterback there – I mean, if they didn't take a quarterback there, I would be surprised. Unless, I know people thinking Bowers will fall there, but they don't have a quarterback, man. And people got to understand, Mike Munchak is taking over. He's trying to change things. Vince Young is going. They need a new guy there. So that's my opinion. From some of the things that I hear, and but you never know who falls. I don't know. Right. I know Nick Fairley's a good player. I don't think he's Albert Hainsworth type of player.
Okay, right. Yeah. That's fun though. I hope they do take a quarterback, shake it up a little.
I don't know. I don't know who would. I mean, I know. I guess if Gabbert and Newton is going, Locker and Mallett will be there. Right. You don't know how high they rate other guys, but I would just see how things shake out. But I think they'll go. They need a quarterback.
Okay, let's go with. Let's say they take a quarterback.
Whoever you got it. Okay. I mean, that's just my thought. I don't know.
Right, I understand. Yeah. I trust your thought on this, but and then I think the Cowboys go Tyron Smith. I think that's where we first see the first offensive lineman go. It's been 6 straight years, I think, of offensive tackles going top 10. I know they've asked for a lot of film from USC and a lot of information on Tyron Smith. I think they can take him, put him at right tackle, and let Doug Free man the left side. They have to protect Romo. I think that'd be a good pick for them. His upside is tremendous. If he stayed another year, he'd be a top 5 pick easily. So I think they get away with that. Then the Redskins, I know they'd like to go quarterback. I know they liked Locker last year a lot. At least that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
If Locker's there, maybe the Titans took him. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they go Locker. Who knows? But I think they'll go Julio Jones. At this point, he's the highest rated guy on the board.
Okay, well that's pretty solid. Before we go, why is it tough for you being a Bengals fan? Why do you keep rooting for the team? Being in another state, what keeps you rooting for the Bengals every year? I mean, I'm always optimistic. I think they can turn it around easily, just because I played there and I know that I got faith in Marvin and those guys. But why would you, as a fan, what keeps you going as a Bengals fan?
Well, I live outside of Buffalo, so I'm not sure that's a better option. But I guess it's the optimism. You can't choose who you love. You just fall in love for some reason. We're kind of, as fans, we're at a disadvantage this way. It's like getting a tattoo of a girl's name and you can never remove it. It's just, I'm married to the Bengals and I can't divorce them. It's not even an option. I would, even if I tried to, I would think about them all the time. I would want to see how they're doing. It'd be a bad relationship if I tried to break up with them.
That's pretty cool, man. Well, listen, it was good catching up with you. I follow you on Twitter. You follow me. We talk sometimes. So I think it was good to get a fan's take, somebody who's really knowledgeable. But I appreciate you coming on me, man.
Thanks. I appreciate being here.
No problem, Joe. Appreciate it.